Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Wuthering Waves 2.0. For me, 2.0 made Wuthering Waves my favorite gacha game, like, by far. Like, this game is so good, and they just did such a spectacular job with 2.0. So I'm not going to be going over, the 2.0 breakdown and everything that's here, or anything like that. I'm going to talk about the biggest things in this update that really hit home for me, that were like, wow, you really stood out compared to the other gacha games. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, first things first, the cutscenes in the story. Okay, I'm going to try not to compare it to other gacha games too much, but I feel like it's also kind of important. So, first of all, the story in this game is so good, and the cinematics are honestly just straight cinema. Like, they are just so beautiful. I was even watching a buddy's stream, and he was like, yo, is, like, my graphics, like, cranked to the max? Or does the game just hit like this? Like, the game just hit like this. Like the cinematics are so good. I came into Wuthering Waves, right, with 9 pulls. Like, Wuthering Waves dropped 2.0 when Genshin dropped 5.3, and Honkai Star Rail switched to the Fugue banner. It was a very busy week in gacha games. Now, I had a bunch of pulls saved in both Honkai Star Rail and in Genshin Impact, but for Wuthering Waves, I had 9, right? I came into this, and I was like, I gotta start the stream early, and I gotta really grind for an extra 10, 20 pulls, so I can hopefully maybe just kind of do a couple 10 pulls on the banner. Wasn't expecting much, right? First of all, I ended up wishing like 50, 60 times that stream, and ended up getting Carlotta, which is insane. Like, the fact that you're able to get so much from Wuthering Waves is disgusting. And I'm not even talking about asteroids or pools, I'm talking about literally like just like echoes, boss materials, the fact that I used a lot on Carlotta, but the fact that they just give you, like, free materials that literally cost wave plates is insane and genius, and so much of it. Because, of course, for Carlotta, I didn't have a whole lot, so I had to, like, use a lot of this stuff and then transfer it over. Like, it's insane what they give us. But back to my point. So, I wanted to just hop in the story, get to the new region, and then explore the new region to try to get as many asteroids as possible. Now, if you played the story, you know that it actually takes quite a bit to get to the new region and to unlock the whole new region. So, if you had that mindset that I had of like, okay, I just need to get there as fast as possible and start grinding, you would probably get kind of frustrated because it takes a while and you'd probably be like itching to maybe skip story. I really like the Wuthering Waves story, by the way. So I did not want to do that. And I was literally even saying in stream, I'm like, I'm sitting here watching the story, I'm like, wow, my main goal, my main mindset is to get there as fast as possible and start exploring, but I'm not tempted to skip. I'm not tempted to just rush through it just to get there, because I'm actually enjoying it so much. The Wuthering Waves story, what they do such a great job as, is that it's an adventure. And I feel like I'm on the adventure, and I'm just there for the journey, and I really appreciate the journey with the story. I like all the little details. I like all the stuff that maybe isn't even all that important to the story. I feel like the story is, one, focused. We are progressing a lot and we're hitting on the important things, but then also they make the little details also very intriguing and very fun. For example, Genshin Impact, I skipped the majority of the 5.3 story because it was literally fucking useless. Like, it was so frustrating how the whole 5.3 story was about the final battle that we're gonna save Natlin. Like, so intriguing, so amazing. This story should have been goated. We had, what, 2 dinners and 2 feasts? Literally, not even exaggerating, 2 feasts leading up to the fight. The largest battle, Natlin's on the line. Yeah, let's keep celebrating. Let's have an hour and a half, 2 hours of celebration before we actually get to the story. Don't get me wrong, we actually got to the meat of the story. It was awesome, but how long does it take to get there? I kept skipping. I'm like, I'm not doing this, because Genshin stories is nothing but fluff mixed with a little bit of just meat. That's it, and it gets very annoying. Honkai Star Rail, phenomenal story, very intriguing, just so good, you know what I mean? But they throw a lot at you, and sometimes it gets overwhelming. Like, that's the thing with Penacony, where they threw a ton of dialogue at you, and they lost some players in the story, and then people just start skipping, like, alright, I just gotta get through this. Wuthering Waves hit home and hit perfect with their story, where it's like, okay, we stay on point, we stay focused, we keep everything intriguing, no matter if it's main part of the story or a little bit of a side quest or explaining this character or this situation. It's intriguing from start to finish. The cinematics are phenomenal. The music is phenomenal. The characters are phenomenal. The character design in this game is disgusting. It's so good. We're going to talk about this a little bit because, it has passed. But, I'm saying this as someone who, in all 3 games, pulls nothing but women. Okay? you need to have more male characters. I know it's crazy. Out of all 3 games, this is the game that I'd pull male characters on because you designed them so well. And we were leaked to get both Scar and Jian's master, like his mentor. You know what I mean? In the 1 point whatever region, and we didn't. Those were 2 characters that I was like, all right, I'm actually gonna pull 4 5-star, dude. This is actually insane. But I really was. Jian's mentor was such a sick design. If you don't remember him, it was when we were kind of like on his part of the story, and we're getting his flashbacks, and it was before he became a general. It was that guy who was kind of the general before him. And then, I mean, Scar, like, he's so sick. He's what carried the first region. Because the first region, when it first came out, it wasn't the best story. He really carried it for a lot of people and kept people involved and interested. So, the fact that we didn't get either of those characters is insane. And then we come to the 2.0 region, and we have Brant as the only guy. And Brant's a sick character, by the way. Jack Sparrow vibes 100%. I absolutely love the guy, but like he's the only one. You got to have more male characters. Other than that, your designing of characters is phenomenal. Your story is phenomenal, and the cinematics are phenomenal. I am so beyond hooked. It's absolutely insane. I want to wish for everybody. It's incredible. Next, we're gonna talk about is the flying. Okay, first of all, look how easy it is to fly. You can literally just pick up and fly anywhere. This like mechanic in the game is so fun, so genius, and just absolutely perfect in delivery. As you can see, the stamina, it takes forever to run out, and I'm like abusing it right now. I'm literally just spamming it, and look how long it lasts. When you find a stingray and you use a stingray, it also refreshes the stamina, and like you don't need this. You don't need a location on the map to click in order to activate it. You can literally just activate it wherever. You just find a little bit of height, jump, and then there you go. You have flying, which not only, and this is the important part, not only makes traversing the area so easy, but it's fun. It's fun. Listen, I get gacha games. They got to make money. They're a business at the end of the day, right? Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But I feel like they get lost in that of how can we make money? How can we monetize something in the game? And they forget that, hey, you're a video game. Video games are meant to be fun, okay? Even if it's a free game, you still got to make the game fun. You got to give people reason to play it. Again, like if we go to like Natlin, I do like Genshin. I do think it's a solid game, and I do really like it. And I feel like, again, a lot of the frustration people have with Genshin is because it can be such a great game, but the devs just don't give a shit. Natlin's just not fun to play. It's not fun to explore. I know I love 100%ing regions. I'm not doing that for now. I know a lot of people that aren't because it's just so annoying to traverse. You sit there and you have a region that's very like complicated and annoying to get around in, and you put the Saurians. You're like, oh, well, you need the Saurians to do this, right? But then you limit the Saurians. You limit their travel abilities to have with stamina and with like range and stuff. And you're like, oh, but if you want to like have fun and have it like be like limitless, well, then you need a 5-star character that has the same ability. Well, it's like, okay, you're technically putting a paywall in to make exploration mediocre. You know what I mean? In order to explore this region, we need to get the 5-star characters that make it a lot easier. That's bullshit, and that really makes a region like so unenjoyable. I like how Wuthering Waves made flying free, so everyone can do it. They made it broken because the stamina, the speed, the versatility with it, you can do so much with flying. It is just so fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. I choose to use it all the time, even when I don't need to, because I love it, and that is so unbelievably important that gacha games are getting away from. Like, it's just awesome. So I mean, the story cinematics is amazing, the character designs are amazing, we get so much stuff, the amount of resources we get on top of ash rates and pools is amazing, and then also you're adding stuff like flying, which is such an amazing mechanic. Now let's talk about something that I really enjoyed, but also has a bit of a drawback as well, and that is the exploration in this region. So in the first region, you made it so there was a ton of chests. Like, just so much chests. You drop a loot mapper, and then you see them all, and you can go get them. And it was honestly brainless, and I loved it, right? Because I have a second monitor. Let's throw up some anime, maybe some music, and let's just go exploring. We're going to 100% it, get a ton of ash rates. It's going to be amazing, right? I can see how that also sucked, because even though I loved it, it wasn't really exploring. It wasn't at all, you know what I mean? So in this region, like, hey, we're gonna go more puzzle heavy. Now, let me tell you, I love these puzzles. Like, that's where Honkai Star Rail, to me, dominates. because they have awesome puzzles that are just so enjoyable. Let's do this one right now. I think we're gonna want to go with red here, right? Now let's go with green. Now let's go with yellow. I mean, it's fun. Like, I really like doing these puzzles. I think Honkai dominates when it comes to puzzles. I really, really enjoy them. They're a ton of fun to complete. I really like puzzles. It's something I talk about all the time on stream. If you want to come hang out on stream, by the way, twitch.tv/thecasualweeb_, links in the description below. We have a ton of fun with gacha games and other variety games as well. But, like, I really, really enjoy puzzles. So I think that the puzzles they added are so good and so much fun to do, especially that one. That one's my favorite in any gacha game ever. I love that puzzle. The problem is the ratio to puzzles to chests. In the first region, it was like 99% chests. Now it's like so many puzzles. It's so many puzzles. And because of that, it makes it really difficult to explore. You know what I mean? You really have to explore. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to use an interactive map, label all the puzzles, and then go and do everything. And it's going to be like so much more tedious and take so much more time. You know what I mean? Like, you have a lot of the chests are going to be grouped up here. You have some combat here. I like these two things as well. I would like it if you add more icons for puzzles. You know what I mean? And then have the option to disable them for the people who want to go and genuinely explore. You don't want them to kind of have that revealed. But I want to make it a little bit easier to explore, and then also have more chests. You got to fix the ratio. We got to have like 60% chests and like 40% puzzles, or even 70% chess and 30% puzzles. I think that would be solid, but I think you did way too many puzzles here. It kind of made it too tedious, but I'm really liking the puzzles themselves. I just wish it was a little more, less effort, I mean, because I put a lot of time into this one. And I mean, we're at 64%, and I put I scavenge this entire island. Like, it's pretty crazy. So I have to use an interactive map, and that's not fun. So I love the puzzles. I love what you're doing with that. I want more puzzles. Like, I like this amount of puzzles, but like, let's like have more chests, and then make it easier to find the puzzles. Because the thing about these chests too is that if I go around and I have to kill a bunch of echoes to get these chests, I'm getting a ton of echoes. That's the problem here, where like, since there's not a lot of chests and a lot of chests being locked by echoes, it's more difficult to farm echoes. I can't do it by accident. You know what I mean? I have to go out of my way to go hunt down echoes, kill them, and then hope I get the right ones. I can't just go around a map, just slaughter everything, get a bunch of chests, which is going to give me astrites as well, and then I'm like, oh, wow, look at all these echoes I have, and it's so much easier to build my characters. So something we have to do now in this new 2.0 region, where we have to like refarm everything. We have to refarm all these echoes for these new echo sets. Some of the old characters want the new sets, so you have to go and you have to do that as well, and then get the stats up to the stats you had before. You know what I mean? Because you want a strong character. So that is one downfall. I would love what you're doing with exploration, but you have to switch the ratio over a little bit and make it just a little bit easier, because, you know, some of us, we like the 100%, but we're also kind of lazy. You know what I mean? We're also a little lazy because we also play multiple gacha games. So yeah, I absolutely love it, but it needs a little bit of work. Also, I want to say this: characters are fun. Like Carlotta, like, you did it. Like, it's so cool. The animations are so tough. I really wasn't interested in her until I did the trial, and I'm like, okay, that's crazy. We're pulling for her. That's something I brought up with Camilla and Lumi, I think her name is. I made a video on them, and I was like, yo, like, Lumi, she might not be the most broken character ever, but she's a ton of fun, and aesthetically she looks sick. The way you're able to be at range and start taking out shots, then maybe you hit a parry, then you switch, and then you go to melee, and now you're doing melee attacks. Like, it looks so sick, and it looks so aesthetically pleasing because you just look so badass. Like, doing that with your characters is sick, and Carlotta is the perfect mix of it, where she is very aesthetically pleasing with her animations, and at the same time she's very strong. Like, very strong. So I think that building your characters that way and creating your characters that way is going to be really, really cool. It's going to be really nice, and I hope they continue to do that. 2.0 and this whole 2 point whatever region looks phenomenal. Like, they absolutely killed it for so many different reasons. Like, they're doing a lot of things that's just really smart. That's a really good idea. You know, I missed some things that came out in this region that, like, I really, really enjoy. They're adding a lot of quality of life stuff that just makes the game so easy and just so nice. So Wuthering Waves is absolutely killing it. So let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite thing from this region? I feel like most people are going to say the flying mechanic. It is just so incredible. I'm literally bringing people back to the game because of that. I'm like, hey, we can fly, like, really fly. But also, what character are you most enticed to wish for in this 2 point whatever region. I don't know what to call it, like the 2.0 region. So who are you guys enticed to yet? Anyways, I'm loving this game. They're killing it. I have complete and utter faith in them. Just keep doing you, wuwa. Just keep doing you. We gotta fix exploration a little bit, but other than that, you're killing it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are loving the game. That is it. Later, guys. Peace.